Working with Excel. In this video I'm going to show you how to work around with your Excel, how to save your file, how to navigate to the place where your files is being saved, how to know where exactly you're saving your file in, and how to open your file from those locations. To begin with, I'm going to go to file, I'm going to say save as. Now there's a difference between save and save as. Save is used to save what we saved previously. For example, if I open a blank document that I've not saved before, when I click on file and I say save, it's going to bring out a save as dialog box. But if I use save as after saving my work, it's still going to give me a save as dialog box. What save as does basically is that you can save your work as a particular name. If the name has already is already as in already if the name already existed previously in the particular location where you want to save your work in, it will ask you to actually overwrite the data. It will ask you to replace the data because the data already exists. Now one thing you need to know is that I've already saved this work as data previously in the previous video. I can change the name from data to manage. Now I can click on save. One thing you see if I open is that you see data and you see manage. Now but they are actually having the same data. If you look at this, is actually 19.5 and this is 20.5. For example, if I click on save now, it's just save this as manage. This is saving as manage. If I open data, for example, data open, this is my data. Now though my data doesn't have the yellow background that one has, let me make it have a yellow background that one has. Then I think this one was red. Okay, these are the things, these are the changes I made. Now if I click on save, it's just save without giving you a save as dialog box. Save is used to save any changes you make to your work. So if I go back to file and I say open, you can see my data is now 20.0, that's the size, while my manage is 20.5. Let me see the difference. Okay, I think this is a little bit bigger than that. So either way, I have my data and I have my managed, but they are both the same. So you can save your work as a different name, keeping the original copy and keeping the new copy with as in after saving it with a new name. Now another thing I need to tell you is that when you're saving your work, you look at where it is saving in. Save in is saving in my document. This is my document here, saving in my document. You can save to your desktop. This is your desktop here. I can save this data to my desktop. Save. So if I want to open, I'll go to file, I will say open. I won't go to my document to open what I saved on the desktop. Rather, I will go to desktop to open what I saved on the desktop. If you save in your hard disk, for example, let's say you save in your external hard disk, you open this, let's say this is your external hard disk, you put the name of the file there, you save. When you want to open, you have to go back to that same location and open it in that particular location. This is how to navigate through your Excel spreadsheet when you want to save or you want to open any job. Now it is important that you know that if you are saving your work, you must remember the location where you saved your work to. If you do not remember the name where you save your location, where you save your work to, or where you save your work, what you need to do is you can actually click on file, and below here you see your last 5 saved work that you worked on recently, your 5 most recent work. Presently this is showing me 4 recent work because I've only worked with 4 recently, but it is to show you maximum of 5 recent work you've been working on. This is data. This one is they manage. This one you can see it gives you the location as well. This is saved in document, this is saved in document, this one is saved on desktop. That's why you are not seeing the destination. Save on desktop. This one is in document as well. So if I open this is what you see. If I come here, I open this is what you see. If I go back there and I open this, so it depends on what you want, as in what you did. Now if you save on your external storage space, as in storage disk, which is your hard disk or your flash disk, and you have removed the flash disk and it put the part here, you might not be able to open it. For example, let me delete this manage, for example, on my document. For example, manage, where is it? On documents, I delete it, for example, delete, yes. Now okay, because it's already open, hold on, let me cancel that. I want to try to close it. Okay, this is a manage, and now let me go and delete that particular manage now. Alright, Now if I go to file and I click on manage, you can see it's telling that you should check the name, file could not be found, or and verify the location if it's correct. Now that's one thing that's the error message you'll see if the particular file you want to open is no longer in the location where it is saved. It's very important you understand that if your file is no longer in the location where it is saved. Now another thing I need to tell you is that you can use your format painter to actually change the way a particular text looks. Let me say, for example, let me change the color, fill color, and let me change this to, let's say, green, for example. Let me make it bold. Let me change the font size, the font type to, let's say, let me use no, I want to use something very legible. Okay, let me use copper black. Copper black is always very legible. It's not. Okay, let me use something that I can easily see. Fatura. Now let me change the fonts. That's too big. Now one thing you see is that if I want to make all this to look the same way like this, I need to know the fonts, I need to know the size, I need to make it bold and things like that. All I just need to do is just click on my select the word you want to use, click on my format painter. It's more like you want to paint a house. If you want to paint a house, you need to put your painting brush in the paint. So this is my painting brush. I dip my painting brush in this paint. So I click on this. Now it will paint everything you have here. Then when I click on this and I select around this, what happens is that it will give you the same value or the same shape, the same pattern in which this one was written. You can see that's the work of that format painter. You understand? That makes it a lot easy for everything to have a uniformity. Instead of me having to change the font, taking my time changing the font, changing the font size, I don't need to do all those things. All I just need to do is just use my paintbrush. You understand? It will not change your text. Rather, it will make the text to have the same characteristics of that particular text. The characteristic of this particular text is that it has Futura LTBT fonts, and this font size is 13, and it's bold, and it's at the center. It will give this drink the same characteristics of this Futura, the same thing. And that's one nice thing about using your format painter. Now another thing we will do is for example, if I want to make this total to stand out, for example, I want the total to be underlined, like when you underline it on top and put a double bottom border at the bottom like this. So that gives you more like this is a total line. Now you can actually use your border line around this using any of this border. So but you must it will actually take you time trying to put the border across your text. But one nice thing is that after putting the border around your text, you'll be able to distinguish between your texts. That's one nice thing you can do with your spreadsheet. Instead of using the grid lines, you can as well use the border to actually separate each of the cells from each other. You can separate them using the border. So with this border now, I've been able to separate all these cells together. I've been able to separate them, as you can see they are all separated now. So if I want to rule this side too, I will just highlight this and I will choose a bottom border. Now if you notice, I don't need to choose the bottom border using this arrow every time, because once I choose the bottom border is already activated. So all I just need to do is just choose the bottom border. Instead of you going to this arrow and clicking on this every time, just choose the bottom border there. Now if I want to use the top border here, all I just have to do is highlight it. Then that's when I'll now go to this arrow here and change it to a top border. This is a top border. Where is the top border? This is the top border. I might have to remove this bottom border. Let me remove the bottom border. let me put a bottom border here, rather bottom border. That puts a border around this. If I want to put a border here, left, right, I can just choose a border left, choose a border right. That makes it a lot faster for me. Left and right, left and right. As you can see, that's a faster way to put borders since they are facing both direction. Now what I see here now is that I have my borders around my spreadsheet. Let me remove these values. Now what you can see, if I do not need this cell, I can delete this cell, delete entire row. The same thing, I can just highlight these two cells, for example. Just even I don't even need to drag around, just highlight the two cells you want to delete and say delete the entire row. That's one thing you see. If you want to delete this one too, delete the entire row. So this is what you see. So it depends on how you want to use your spreadsheet. There are several things you can as well do. You can protect your documents, protect your workbook. Once you protect your workbook, you put a password there. It will protect the structure of your workbook. You can as well protect your sheet as well. You can choose allow all user of this worksheet to select lock cell. You just choose what you think is necessary, what you want them to, what you want them to, as in what you want to permit them to do. If you don't want to permit them to do anything, just uncheck anyone that you don't want them to permit, put your password and say okay. So what happens is that once you put the password, if they want to change any value in your text, they will be required to put the password. So in case anybody is actually altering your work at your back, protecting your document will make it a lot difficult for them to alter any work you've made. So all they can do is to be able to view it, but they cannot make any changes to your work. That's one nice thing about protecting your document. Another thing I need to say is that you can insert a spreadsheet, a worksheet. You can see I insert a sheet. I can delete this sheet here. You can insert a worksheet using your insert. You can insert a column from here. You can insert row from here. That's what you can do with this insert. You can insert cell as well. That's what you can do. Now we're going to insert charts in our next video, where we're going to work with column charts, with the bar charts, with the line charts, with the pie charts. All these kind of charts are the kind of thing we're going to work with. But I'm only going to show you how to use your column chart, how to use your bar chart, how to use your pie chart. So there are 3 charts I'm going to show you for this series. I hope this video has been informative, and I would like to thank you for viewing.